Hey, this is Derek Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, my guest is Palaver Strings and their member, Elizabeth Moore, who is going to talk about the group for us. Welcome, Elizabeth Moore, to the World Fusion Show.
Thank you so much, Derek. It's really nice to be here.
It's great to have you here, of course. And tell me a little bit about your group. I know you guys are based in Portland, Maine, and you've been together for quite a while. And you're all classically trained musicians. But how did you get together, and how did this all get started?
Sure. Yeah. So we're actually starting our 10th season as a group, which is really exciting. We got together a decade ago in Boston when many of us were studying at the music conservatories there in Boston. As you know, there's many, New England Conservatory, Boston Conservatory, Boston University, etc. So we were all students. We had this shared hunger to play music that we felt really passionately about, not only music for music's own sake, but playing music that also sort of spoke to the moment in time that we were in and social causes that we were interested in. And we got our start doing a lot of fundraisers for another nonprofit called the Liberian Education Fund. And that's also how we got our name. Palaver comes from a West African term for a palaver hut, a place where community members come together to reach a consensus. And since we are a group of 13 that doesn't have one leader, we are always rotating and trying to reach a consensus in our group. So that term really spoke to us, and we asked our friends in Liberia, our partners in Liberia, and they were like, yes, we love that. So that's how we got our name and how we got our start. And we moved to Portland to open a community music school alongside our performing that also is all about creating community through music, which is our mission when we perform as well. So we are just starting. Our oldest students are going into the 4th grade this year. So we're really excited about this season.
That's great. That's great. Now, you guys, reason I'm having you on the show is because you have an interest in world music, and you do some world music, and so with your group. So, what kind of world influences have you done?
Oh, geez, I'm sure I'll miss some, but we really love collaborating with musicians who come from a different background than us, because we just want to learn more, and also that's just how you meet the best people and learn the best music. Some of us grew up playing in different folk traditions, Irish, Franco-American, bluegrass, sort of Norwegian folk, that sort of thing. So we have some roots in our group coming up through different folk traditions, but outside of that, we've been really lucky to work with incredible jazz musicians, with a wider range of folk musicians from all over the world, indigenous musicians, Puerto Rican musicians, Syrian musicians, Congolese. It's just been an incredible journey. Chinese, it's just like the list goes on over the years, and the depth to which we have delved into these different styles has differed. There are certain ones that we've come back to again and again through collaborators, and others that we've just met in passing. And I hope that those journeys continue, because it's just like anything else. You start to dip your toes in the water and it's like, there's this whole world.
There's truly a lot there. I know. I'm a world fusion composer myself, and I've even written some music for orchestra and string orchestra, in fact. But you spoke of Syrian musicians, and we're going to go to our first video, which is a piece you did with Kinan Azmeh, who's a Syrian musician who's all over the place these days. Tell us a little bit about this video.
Yeah, we were really, really fortunate to run into Kinan Azmeh at a summer festival two summers ago at the Screen Door Festival up in Rockport, Maine, where we play quite frequently, but we got programmed with him, backing him up at this festival, and we had an incredible time, just musically and personally. We really clicked and felt like we had to do it again, and he was generous enough to be down for that, and we put together a whole program with him, playing with him, but also he wrote us a brand new composition, a whole new piece for just strings, so that we could keep playing it even when we didn't have him in the room. And he wrote this really, I think it's a very special piece. It's called Syrian Dances. I think we're just going to share the third movement of that, which is an al-Bordana, which is a type of secular song from the Al Jazeera region. And it's just, when we were working on it with Kinan, he's like, yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of fun. You got to kind of feel like you're almost in the club. And as you're listening to it, it's sort of like you go through the different phases of the night a little bit. And yeah, it was just so much fun to put together.
All right. Let's go to the video right now. Hey, we are back with Elizabeth Moore and Palaver Strings now. You said you love collaborating, and you've got some interesting things coming up. Tell us a little bit about what's on deck.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we love collaborating, and this is our 10th season. So we've cooked up a really exciting year, and I just can't wait for everyone to hear it. We just came back, I think I mentioned before, we met Kinan at the Screen Door Festival at Bay Chamber Concerts in Rockport, Maine. We actually just got back from that this year, and we just premiered a program and a brand new commission on that program. It's a program we put together with tenor Nicholas Pon. He's an incredible singer, Grammy nominated, and we also met him at Screen Door, I think like 5 years ago, and we've been dreaming up working together ever since, and we finally are doing it. It's this whole project around protest in music, something that both Palaver and Nick feel really passionately about, being just a powerful vehicle for change and opening people's minds in a different way than the news cycle and really any other way. And as part of that, there's a brand new piece by Erilyn Wallen, and we're actually recording with Nick next month and performing the program in Boston at Longy's Pickman Hall. So if you're in the Boston area, maybe check that out. We're really excited about it. Other exciting projects this year are we have a program-long new commission by Courtney Swain, composer based in Providence, and that is for a whole piece with a Portland-based dance company called Little House Dance. Really inspiring group of people, and we can't wait to share that in December. Palaver will be playing our own program of music. I think it's really just a little bit more introspective and just really about the beauty in music in the winter when we really need that, I think. And then in the spring, to cap off the season, we're actually collaborating with the amazing Ataka String Quartet and playing a program of music. We'll each play a little bit by ourselves and then together. And it's really all about the natural world, its beauty, its importance, and its need of attention because of climate change. So we're really looking forward to this year. Lots of collaborating.
All right. That's terrific. Now, I'd like to go to our next video. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to see.
Yeah, I believe next we're going to share Bobo's Blues, which is the first movement of a larger 3-movement piece by the amazing composer Akenya Seymour. We commissioned her to write a piece for our Life Songs project and concert in Boston back in 2019. Life Songs is a project that we do where we help guide storytellers in the LGBTQ plus community through sharing their life story or a story they want to tell through a song. And as part of that, Akenya decided to write this piece celebrating the life and then also describing the death, and then including this elegy for Emmett Till. So it's a pretty intense piece. The first movement that you're going to hear is really showing Akenya's jazz roots and also her connection. She's from Chicago and Emmett Till was from Chicago. So it's really painting the scene of the city of Chicago and the sounds that Emmett might have been hearing in his hometown. Everything from the jazz music to car horns. So you'll hear some of that, and her writing is just really descriptive.
Wow, great. Okay, let's go to the video right now. Hey, we are back with Elizabeth Moore and Palaver Strings. I wanted to ask you about your after-school programs, string programs you've been doing, because I know you do a lot of that work in Portland.
We do, yeah. It was part of the reason we moved our base to Portland. Portland is a really diverse and exciting city, but it's not saturated in the way some other cities are with music programs. So there was a niche for us here. And we operate 2 days a week. It's an after-school strings program. We start in kindergarten, though we even have a little intro course for pre-Kers to get them interested. And you get a private lesson every week and also a group class, though our fourth graders this year will be starting chamber music. So we're really excited about that. The other thing about the program is it's completely sliding scale. And because of that, we have families from all over. And it's just really exciting to see these kids coming up together and making really wonderful friendships, as well as learning about music making.
Great, great. So we've got another video of Palaver Strings, and I wanted you to introduce that to us.
Sure. So another festival we've played at and met incredible people at is the Rockport Celtic Festival in Rockport, Massachusetts. And that's where we met Dana, Lynn, and Kyle Sana. They are both incredible musicians and composers and arrangers and just great people. We hit it off. We ended up performing their existing work, Choral Suite, which weaves traditional tunes into a larger through-composed piece they put together. They have rearranged it for strings as well, with them as soloists, and it's all about the importance of the ocean and its whole ecosystem, and it includes some projections of Dana's own work, artwork as well. Yeah, beautiful.
All right. Very good. Let's go to the video right now. All right, we are back with Elizabeth Moore and Palaver Strings. I want to just ask you about CDs that you've released and are about to. And, I know because people would probably want to get them on your website.
Wonderful. Yeah. Over the years, we've recorded 3 albums, and we'll be recording a 4th this fall, so keep an eye out for that. Our first was Simple Gifts, and it's a really diverse lineup of music, including some folk as well as classical music. The second album, also really diverse, is really concerto grosso sort of theme throughout that one, a voice in the crowd, including a really incredible piece that was the first piece ever written for us. And then our more recent album, Ready or Not, is all music written by women from as early as the 1500s through today, and also includes a Kenya Seymour's piece, Fear the Land, that we heard earlier, as well as, I believe, the last piece we're going to share.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, now we have one more video to present to our viewers. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is 4th Street Reel. It's a tune I wrote when I lived on 4th Street in Portland's Old Port. And I shared a wall with the upstanding establishment 4Play Sports Pub. And as you might imagine, it's a little bit of a rowdy scene, can be, and it was kind of a loud spot to live in, vibrant. So the tune itself is a bit rowdy to reflect that. And it's part of a larger set that you're not going to hear right now, but I had the joy of working with Liz Knowles, who's an incredible tune writer and fiddle player, and I learned so much from her. We put this set together, and it included 2 of my tunes and 1 of hers, and this last tune in the set, 4th Street, is the one we collaborated on the most, and she sort of came up with this more traditional Irish version of the tune we start off with. It's so nuanced and so much fun, and then we kind of layer some of those aspects through the rest of it, but then we break into the more rowdy original version later on, and I learned so much working with her, and I'm so grateful.
Very nice. Okay, let's go to the video right now. we are back with Elizabeth Moore and Palaver Strings. Elizabeth, I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on the World Fusion Show today and sharing your music and all your interesting influences in this string orchestra, which is just so cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Derek. It was really nice to talk with you.
All right. It's been great. Take care now. Hey, this is Derek Jordan. Thank you for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. And it's been great to have you. And we have lots more shows coming up with all kinds of cool people from all over the world as usual. And I would like to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Mackenzie Family Charitable Trust, Chris Pratt, Nancy Feinberg, and Ron Dance for their generous support. And as we always say on the show, remember, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.